Good day. Welcome to News Now on TV360. I'm Thelma Okuru. The Adamawa Police Command has confirmed the killing of 3 mobile police officers and the disappearance of 2 others in Demsa local government area of the state. The attack is believed to have been carried out by suspected Fulani herdsmen. The incident comes a few days after the Nigerian Air Force commenced aerial surveillance of forests and communities located in the southern part of Kaduna State. Governor of Adamawa State, Mohammed Bindo, condemned the attack, which occurred less than 24 hours after a government delegation on peace-building mission visited the area. Now, just recently, President Muhammad Buhari gave instructions for measures to be taken to end the recurring violence in the region. Police in Borno State have confirmed the death of 2 suspected suicide bombers who attempted to infiltrate Maiduguri, the state capital. According to the Borno State Police Command, one of the suicide bombers detonated his device at Garaki near Muna Park, while the second attacker was shot dead by soldiers before his explosive device went off. Muna Garage has since October 2016 been attacked 7 times by the Boko Haram militants who succeeded in killing some residents. The park, mostly used by haulage trucks and by travelers headed for the border areas, is located along the Maiduguri-Gambur-Ngala local government area. Nigerian President Muhammad Buhari has restated his commitment to ensuring the release of the Chibok schoolgirls who were kidnapped by the Boko Haram militants in 2014. In a statement to commemorate 1,000 days since their abduction, the president assured that he remains committed to ensuring all the girls are reunited with their families. He says the security forces are unrelenting and will do whatever it takes to bring them back home. The Nigerian Army had last Thursday confirmed the release of another Chibok schoolgirl in the Algano area of Dambawa local government area of Borno State. The girl has been identified as Rekia Abubakar. She brings to 23 the number of Chibok schoolgirls found so far since the abduction in 2014. The Nigerian Air Force says it will establish yet another operational base in Bauchi State, northeast Nigeria. Chief of the Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar made this known while reviewing the performance of the Nigerian Air Force in 2016 in Abuja, the nation's capital. The Nigerian Air Force has conducted numerous airstrikes, mostly in the northeast part of the country.
When we came on board, we decided that we need to have a professional Air Force. When you talk of professionalism, you must be interested in the kind of structure you have, the structure of the service itself. And that is why we immediately identified the need to establish a 5th Field Command, which is the Special Operations Command that has about 9 units. The headquarters of that command is in Bauchi. It has been established, and AOC has been appointed. Is here, right here with us. And we also have the units under that command. One of the units is the hospital, which is also located in Bauchi. We have the Quick Response Group, which is located in Gusau. Then we have another one in Owerri. We have another Quick Response Group in Ipetu Ijesha in Osun State. So we are now expanding the structure because we see the need for it. After analyzing the threats emerging, we begin to realize that the 4 commands we have are no longer adequate, and we have established the 5th command with the support of the federal government. In addition to that, apart from the structure, apart from the field command, we also have a medical branch now. It used to be a directorate, but today it's a branch because we see that we are expanding. We are recruiting more recruits into the service. By end of this year, we should have at least an additional 5,000 recruits, able-bodied Nigerians that will be recruited into the Air Force. So if you are bringing in more men, you are training more officers, they will need more medical facilities. And that is why we expanded and upgraded the Directorate of Medical Service into a full branch. We are doing everything humanly possible to bring to flying status the number of airplanes that we met that are grounded. So far, we have activated 13 airplanes that were not in flying status but are now flying. And we are working on the 14th one, which is the Donia 228027. It's being repaired in Kaduna. And I believe very soon, we are working on the 13th and 15th one, as a matter of fact. We have a helicopter gunship in Port Harcourt, now 531, which in the next 1 week or 2 weeks, we'll start work to see how we can get it back into flying status. So what is important to us is that we are using whatever is available to make sure that we are able to achieve what we set out to achieve.
Of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers NUPENG is set to begin a 3-day nationwide warning strike on Wednesday over disputes with international oil companies in Nigeria. The union has been having running battles with some of the companies, including ExxonMobil and Chevron Nigeria Limited, over unfair labor practices, sack of workers without benefits, breach of Nigerian extant labor laws in their divestment exercises. It says it's be holding an emergency National Executive Council meeting in Abuja on Tuesday ahead of the commencement of the planned strike action. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps NSCDC Lagos State Command says it has sealed off 13 fuel stations for reportedly under-dispensing petroleum products. The Public Relations Officer of the command, Kenny Badar, made the confirmation in an interview with newsmen. Badar said that the NSCDC carried out the exercise in collaboration with the Department of Petroleum Resources DPR. The filling stations were sealed on January 5, 2017. The police force has paraded an inspector and 5 sergeants who were dismissed for reportedly misusing firearms during the legislative rerun in Rivers State in December last year. The accused men are Young Victor, Peter Ekbo, Oguni Goodluck, as well as Oji Unwoke and Okwe Ezekiel and Tanko Akko. The officers were attached to the Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike. Meanwhile, the governor has vowed to stand by the sacked police officers, saying that they committed no offense during the election.
In spite of strict warnings and instructions from the IGP that all police personnel on election duty should be of good conduct, and this is from escorting their principals, notably public office holders and politicians, to polling units throughout the period of election, some recalcitrant police personnel were still found blatantly breaching these directives. This is unacceptable by all standards in the force. The officers are as follows. AP number 177893, ex-Inspector Young Victor. First number 400872, ex-Sergeant Peter Ekbo. First number 374585, ex-Sergeant Oguni Goodluck. First number 385870, ex-Sergeant Oji Nwoke. First number 234216, ex-Sergeant Okwe Ezekiel. And first number 437983, ex-Sergeant Tanko Akko. These are formation police officers were in the convoy of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, Mr. Nyesom Wike, on the date of election, 10 December 2016, misused their firearms in their possession, contrary to the provisions of First Order 237. The service personnel became overzealous, took laws into their hands, and opened fire, causing panic in the crowd. They joined in storming the Port Harcourt City Secretariat and prevented the movement of election result of Emoha polling unit to the appropriate collection center designated by INEC, in flagrant disregard and disobedience to the senior police officers present at the venue. The 6 police officers, after the conclusion of investigation into this public mischief, were subjected to internal disciplinary measures, found guilty, and consequently dismissed from the force. They will be prosecuted under the Electoral Act to serve as deterrent to others.
The senior pastor of the Lateran Assembly, Tunde Bakare, has joined the call for the restructuring of Nigeria's federalism. He made the call during a church service in which he delivered a State of the Nation address. The former vice presidential candidate said that it has become very important, more than ever, to create a system whereby states of the Federation can be independent. Pastor Bakari also urged President Buhari to give room for a referendum on Nigeria's unity. President Muhammad Buhari will on Monday host 4 West African leaders to a meeting aimed at averting violence and preserving democracy in the Gambia. A statement issued in Abuja by Garba Shehu, the presidential spokesman, said the meeting was in line with the president's mandate as mediator in the political standoff in the Gambia. The meeting in Abuja follows the one in Accra on the sidelines of the inauguration of the country's presidents. The presidents of Liberia and Senegal, as well as the vice president of Sierra Leone and ex-president of Ghana, are expected at the meeting.
Corruption not in my country.
Hello, Alahaji. Right now I'm in Abuja. No. Hello, Adamu. Right now I'm in Kano. Yes. When I get back, I will just call you. Look, what is wrong with you? I'm talking on the phone and you are gesticulating and doing. What's wrong with you?
Daddy, where exactly are we as we speak?
Are you alright? This is Lagos.
Well, you just lied to someone that we are in Abuja.
Keep quiet. Who told you you can tell an elderly person is lying?
Daddy, you just lied. And by lying, you are raising corrupt children for the future of Nigeria. That is corruption, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Glad to have you back here watching TV360 News now. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) says it aims to reduce fuel importation by boosting the capacity utilization of the country's refineries to 60% by the end of 2017. According to NNPC reports, the average capacity utilization for the refineries from January to October 2016 stood at approximately 14.5%. Maikanti Baru, the group managing director of the corporation, says the state oil company is determined to end fuel importation in a few years from now. The Naira fell further against the United States dollar at the parallel market to 493 from 490 as increased dollar demand weighed on the market. Forex traders say the local unit plummeted following an increased demand for the dollar and other hard currencies by parents seeking to pay school fees of wards studying overseas. The Naira had closed flat against the US dollar at the official interbank window and the parallel market just last Tuesday, and the first official trading day of the year. Traders say the CBN told banks to attend to airlines, manufacturing firms, petroleum products importers and agricultural firms, which are the sectors worst hit by the dollar shortage in the auction. Oil prices fell on Monday as increased exports from Iran determined efforts by other oil producers to curb a global fuel supply overhang. Brent crude futures were trading at $56.70 per barrel, while U.S. crude futures were trading at $53.59 per barrel. The lower prices were a result of rising exports from Iran that come just as other members of OPEC cut supplies in an effort to end a global glut. At least 5 policemen were killed and 10 others, including 3 civilians, were wounded in an attack at a checkpoint in the northern Sinai city of Al-Arish on Monday. There was no immediate claim of responsibility for the attack. However, an Islamic insurgency in the thinly populated Sinai Peninsula has gained pace since the military toppled President Mohamed Morsi is suspected to be behind the attack. Lawyers for the former president of Chad are due to launch an appeal against his life sentence for war crimes and crimes against humanity committed during his rule in the 1980s. It is unclear if Hissène Habré will be compelled to appear in court at the special court in the Senegalese capital of Dakar. The hearing is expected to last several days and a definitive judgment on his conviction is due in April 2017. Leicester City manager Claudio Ranieri has said that Ahmed Musa's brace against Everton in the FA Cup third-round clash on Saturday will boost his confidence in the Premier League side. The Nigerian international, who was just introduced 10 minutes to the end of the first half of the encounter, scored his side's first goal in the 66th minute and 5 minutes later completed his brace to hand his side a 2-1 win over the Toffees at the Goodison Park. The Italian-born coach says the 25-year-old has been putting a lot of efforts in training, adding that his presence in the game was too much for the opponent's defenders. Zimbabwe's national football team refused to board a flight for the African Cup of Nations tournament scheduled to be held in Gabon. Officials confirmed this Sunday that in a dispute over allowances and winning bonuses, the team says they will not board the aircraft. The team was due to fly together on Saturday to Cameroon and play a friendly match on Tuesday before proceeding to Libreville. However, after tense meeting with the Zimbabwe Football Associations, some footballers finally left the capital on Sunday morning, while the rest of the squad are set to depart later in the day. Zimbabwe's economy has been wrecked by hyperinflation, corruption and agricultural collapse, and the national team has often relied on well-wishers to pay its players and coaches. Just last year, the country was expelled from the 2018 World Cup preliminary competition after non-payment of a debt owed to a former coach. FIFA will on Monday announce the winner of the inaugural edition of the FIFA Best Men's Player Award. Portugal captain and current Ballon d'Or winner Cristiano Ronaldo is among the final shortlist of 3 players to be set up for the award. The others are France winger Antoine Griezmann and Argentina captain Lionel Messi. The award is one of the 7 awards to be handed out by FIFA. Another top award is the FIFA Coach of the Year award, which includes Real Madrid coach Zidane and Leicester City coach Ranieri and Portugal's Euro 2016 winning coach Fernando Santos. Well, that's all we have at this hour. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Thelma Okoro.